The Cleveland Browns just experienced a 34-10 collapse that has the entire city talking. And it's not just about a loss. It's about frustration, anger, and the feeling that something has gone completely off the rails. Fans are chanting one thing loud and clear: fire Kevin Stefanski. They're fed up with watching the team drift week after week, and the blame isn't just on a few bad plays. It's on a stubborn coaching decision that refuses to adapt. There's a quarterback sitting on that bench who could change everything, yet week after week, he's being ignored. And while some rookies are getting garbage time snaps, the guy most capable of turning this franchise around isn't even being allowed onto the field. Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl champion and a respected veteran, has had his moments. He's earned his place in NFL history, and no one disputes that. But right now, nostalgia has become a liability. 5 interceptions in 4 games, multiple sacks, a QB rating that barely registers. Flacco is a 40-year-old quarterback being hit more than nearly anyone in the league, and yet Stefanski keeps trotting him out, as if loyalty and respect for a ring are enough to win football games. The reality is, they aren't, and the city of Cleveland is done waiting for results that never come. On the other hand, there's Shedeur Sanders. The kid is QB3, literally 3rd string, but by all accounts, he might be the most NFL-ready quarterback on the roster. He has the arm talent, the football IQ, and the confidence that most veterans can only dream of. Growing up under the guidance of his Hall of Fame father, playing at Colorado in the national spotlight, and learning the intricacies of the game from the best, Shedeur has been preparing for this moment his entire life. Yet he sits on the sidelines, watching another veteran take snaps, turn the ball over, and hand momentum to the opposition. Then Dillon Gabriel, the other rookie. He's gotten a couple of late-game appearances, but both came when the games were already out of reach. His stats don't tell the full story, and judging him based on garbage time numbers would be unfair. But here's the thing. Even Dillon's limited exposure highlights a bigger problem. The team is wasting the talent they drafted to secure the future. Fans aren't staying quiet anymore. They're flooding social media, calling radio shows, demanding change. Fire Stefanski. Free Shedeur. Give the kids a chance. The frustration is real, and it's building to a point where the debate isn't just about wins and losses. It's about the direction of the entire franchise. Cleveland has the defense, the talent, and the opportunity, but the question remains, will they take the leap or continue down the path of stagnation? So here's the question every Browns fan is asking tonight. When do loyalty and respect for a past champion cross the line into negligence? When does hesitation by a coach cost more than just a single game? Because this isn't just a season spiraling out of control. It's a crossroads for the franchise, and every week the wrong decisions continue. The path to the playoffs becomes smaller and smaller. And right there on that bench sits the answer. The quarterback situation in Cleveland has officially become a crisis. And it's not just about a single bad game. It's a pattern that's building week after week. Joe Flacco, once a Super Bowl hero, has been struggling in ways that make fans question how much longer he can realistically hold onto the reins. 5 interceptions in 4 games, multiple sacks, plays that crumble under pressure. Watching him on the field now is like watching someone try to run a marathon in flip-flops. He's simply not equipped for the pace of the modern NFL anymore. And yet, despite all of this, Kevin Stefanski refuses to make a permanent change. Every time Flacco struggles, the coach hesitates, clinging to loyalty and experience over results. Meanwhile, 2 rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, sit in the shadows, barely given a chance to prove themselves. Gabriel has had a couple of late-game appearances, but both came when the games were already lost. His stats look terrible, but that doesn't tell the full story. You can't judge a quarterback thrown into garbage time with no rhythm, no game plan, and no support from the coaching staff. Yet even these limited opportunities highlight just how much potential the Browns are wasting. Then there's Shedeur Sanders, who, according to insiders, might actually be the best quarterback on the roster right now. He's got the arm strength, the intelligence, and the composure under pressure that every team dreams of in a leader. Yet he's 3rd string. Literally QB3. He's watching every mistake, every interception, every sack, and every momentum shift from the sidelines, while the team continues to spiral. It's a scenario that's not just frustrating, it's diabolical. The Browns drafted these quarterbacks for a reason, knowing Flacco wasn't the long-term solution. And now, instead of developing the future, the team is clinging to a past that's slipping further and further away. The fan base has noticed. Social media is exploding with calls for change. Comment sections are filled with pleas to fire Stefanski and let Shedeur play. Radio shows are hearing from angry fans who want to see the young quarterbacks finally get their chance. The frustration isn't just about Flacco's performance. It's about the wasted opportunity, the talent left on the bench, and the feeling that the organization is stubbornly refusing to acknowledge reality. And it's not just the fans noticing. Analysts are asking the tough questions. Former players are weighing in. Even in press conferences, the frustration is evident. Every week, Stefanski benches Flacco late in the game, giving Dylan Gabriel a chance in garbage time, only to revert to the veteran the following week. It's a cycle that's wearing on the team, the fans, and the coach himself. At some point, hesitation isn't just a mistake, it becomes a liability. Cleveland is facing a crossroads. The quarterback situation isn't just about who starts on Sunday. It's about the identity of the franchise, the development of future stars, and whether the team will finally embrace the next generation. And right now, the clock is ticking, and the window for meaningful change is shrinking fast. While Cleveland struggles to find stability at quarterback, there's one player quietly waiting on the sidelines who could change everything: Shedeur Sanders. He's not getting the attention he deserves, and that's part of the frustration for fans watching this season unfold. Sanders is QB3, but don't let that fool you. Every report coming out of the Browns organization suggests that he might actually be the most NFL-ready quarterback on the roster right now. Arm strength, football IQ, poise under pressure. He checks every box that teams look for in a franchise quarterback. What makes Shedeur different from the rest isn't just talent, it's pedigree. Growing up as the son of a Hall of Fame quarterback, he's been immersed in elite football his entire life. From the earliest moments of his childhood, he learned the mental side of the game, the preparation, the film study, and the pressure of performing on the biggest stages. Every throw he makes, every decision on the field has been shaped by decades of experience passed down from the very best. And he didn't just sit on that foundation. He built on it, taking his skills to Colorado, where he performed under a national spotlight and learned to thrive in pressure-packed environments. Yet despite all this, Sanders is sidelined while a 40-year-old veteran struggles to stay afloat. The contrast couldn't be more glaring. Flacco is taking sacks, throwing interceptions, and putting the team in difficult positions. Meanwhile, Shedeur is ready, prepared, and waiting for the opportunity to prove he can turn this franchise around. He's not the kind of rookie who crumbles under pressure. If anything, he thrives in it. That confidence, that composure, is what makes fans so excited. They see not just a talented athlete, but a potential leader capable of changing the trajectory of the team. And the buzz around him is growing. Fans aren't subtle. They're flooding social media, commenting on posts, and making their voices heard in ways that are impossible for the organization to ignore. They want Shedeur on the field. They believe in his abilities, his leadership, and his potential to save the season. And there's a growing conversation that if the Browns continue to ignore him, they're wasting one of the most promising quarterback prospects to come through the city in years. The frustration isn't just about talent, it's about opportunity. Every week that Sanders sits, fans see potential slipping away, games lost, and momentum squandered. The rookie is ready to lead, and yet the organization continues to hesitate. The clock is ticking, and the season isn't waiting. If the Browns want to turn things around, they need to recognize what's right in front of them. Shedeur Sanders isn't just the future of the franchise, he might be the solution to the crisis happening right now. And as the fan base continues to call for action, the question becomes impossible to ignore. How long will the Browns sit back while the quarterback who could save the season remains on the bench? Kevin Stefanski's decisions are at the center of the Cleveland quarterback drama, and the questions about his leadership aren't slowing down. Week after week, fans and analysts are watching the same pattern repeat. Joe Flacco struggles, turnovers pile up, the offense stalls, and yet the coach refuses to commit to the future. It's not a small issue, it's a systemic problem that's affecting the entire team. Stefanski's loyalty to a veteran has become more than stubbornness. It's actively holding the franchise back. Even when Flacco is clearly struggling, Stefanski only makes temporary half measures. He benches the veteran late in games, inserting Dylan Gabriel for a brief cameo during garbage time. It's almost symbolic, a small nod to the young quarterbacks without actually trusting them to lead the team. And the very next week, Flacco is back under center like nothing happened. It's a pattern that leaves fans scratching their heads and players watching from the sidelines. The message it sends is clear. The organization isn't fully committed to progress, and the young quarterbacks are being stifled as a result. Critics have been vocal. Former players, media analysts, and even fans are calling out Stefanski for this hesitation. Robert Griffin III, for example, went on record saying that if the Browns continue to lose under this pattern, Stefanski's job could be in serious jeopardy. And he's right. A coach's job is to make tough decisions, to adapt, and to put the team in the best position to win. When you refuse to evolve, it's not just the roster that suffers, it's your own credibility. Every loss, every turnover, every blown opportunity reflects back on the leadership, and right now, Stefanski is on shaky ground. The media has noticed too. Press conferences are full of pointed questions about Flacco's performance and the quarterback rotation, and Stefanski's responses reveal the tension. He talks about sticking with experience, about loyalty, and about giving the veteran every chance to succeed. But fans see it differently. To them, this is more than loyalty. It's stubbornness that risks the season. It's clear that the coach is struggling to balance respect for the past with the demands of the present. And it's not just about optics. The team itself is feeling the consequences. The defense, one of the most elite units in the league, is left on the field far too long because the offense can't sustain drives. Special teams can only bail the team out so much, and the cumulative frustration affects morale, preparation, and overall performance. The quarterback situation under Stefanski isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a strategic failure that ripples across the entire team. Cleveland is at a critical point. Stefanski's inability or unwillingness to make bold decisions is creating a leadership crisis. Fans see the talent on the bench, the rookie quarterbacks ready to play, and the opportunity slipping away, yet the coach hesitates. Every week of inaction makes the problem worse, and the conversation around the Browns' future isn't about just one game anymore. It's about whether this team can evolve under its current leadership. While the Browns' quarterback situation dominates headlines, there's another story being overshadowed: the defense. And make no mistake, Cleveland's defense is elite. They've got playmakers at every level, the ability to rush the passer, stop the run, and cover receivers. This unit should be the backbone of the team, controlling games and keeping the Browns competitive. But right now, they're paying the price for an offense that can't sustain a drive and a coaching staff that refuses to make the tough calls. Against Detroit, it became painfully clear. The defense spent 70% of the game on the field, 70%. That's a number almost unheard of for a unit this talented. And why? Because the offense couldn't do anything. Flacco couldn't protect the football. Drives stalled. Short fields were handed to the Lions. Interceptions and sacks put the defense in impossible situations. Even the most disciplined defensive units start to falter when they're forced to play that long under that much pressure. Fatigue sets in, mistakes compound, and the scoreboard starts to reflect the punishment. Special teams occasionally bail the team out, like when kicker Andre Smith came through in the clutch against Green Bay. But special teams' heroics aren't a long-term solution. You can't rely on one play each week to cover up offensive incompetence. Eventually, the math catches up to you, and Detroit proved that. By the fourth quarter, the defense looked exhausted, giving up points they shouldn't have because they had been on the field for nearly the entire game. Every extra snap, every missed assignment, every second of fatigue chips away at the edge that makes this unit elite. And it's not just physical, it's mental. When a defense is on the field that long, frustration builds. Players start to lose confidence in the offense's ability to execute. They take unnecessary risks, overpursue, or misread plays. What should have been a dominant performance turns into a grind, and even the best units struggle to perform at peak efficiency. Cleveland's defense deserves better. They've earned better. but the quarterback decisions above them are systematically undermining their ability to win. This is where leadership and strategy intersect. The coach's hesitation to give the young quarterbacks a real chance doesn't just hurt the offensive stats, it hurts the entire team. The defense, which should be a source of pride and strength, becomes a victim of circumstance. And fans see it all. They notice the tired legs, the late-game collapses, and the difference between what this team could be and what it is. They're not just frustrated with Flacco or Stefanski. They're frustrated for the players who are giving everything on the field, only to be let down by decisions above them. Cleveland's defense has been asked to carry a load that no unit should have to bear. And until the offense and the leadership above it find a way to stabilize, the defense will continue to suffer. It's a story of talent undermined by circumstance, of a unit capable of greatness forced into exhaustion, and of fans left wondering how much longer they'll watch this pattern repeat. Because one thing is clear. The Browns' elite defense is being wasted, and until the quarterback situation is resolved, the problem isn't going away. Joe Flacco's decline isn't subtle anymore, it's glaring, and it's impossible for fans or analysts to ignore. Once a Super Bowl champion with a reputation for clutch performances, he now looks like a quarterback struggling just to keep up. The interceptions pile up, sacks rack up, and mental errors become routine. Watching him on the field, it's clear that the tools that once made him elite, mobility, pocket awareness, decision-making, are no longer at the level needed to compete consistently in today's NFL. Take the recent games, for example. Flacco went 16 of 34 for just 184 yards, averaging barely 5 yards per attempt. He threw 2 interceptions that gave Detroit momentum and easy points, and he took multiple sacks, putting the defense under constant pressure. A QB rating of 12.3 isn't just bad, it's catastrophic. Every single decision on the field, every forced throw, every missed read is amplified by the reality that defenses are faster, smarter, and more aggressive than ever. Mistakes that a rookie might get away with are now inexcusable for a veteran with decades of experience.
If you enjoyed today's breakdown and want to keep up with all the drama, trades, and behind-the-scenes action in the NFL, then don't forget to hit that like button.
It's not just physical decline either. Mental errors are becoming a trend. In Detroit, Flacco admitted he saw press coverage outside and tried to take a shot on 3rd and long, a calculated risk that backfired and shifted momentum. Young quarterbacks are allowed to make those mistakes, their learning experiences. But for a 40-year-old veteran, those same errors are costly, glaring, and increasingly unforgivable. Fans aren't upset because of respect. They're upset because the mistakes are directly costing games and undermining the team's potential. Even in post-game press conferences, Flacco shows the tension. He admits responsibility for some errors but hesitates on others. "Maybe it wasn't my fault," he says about a second interception. That's a nuance that the fan base doesn't have patience for anymore. They've seen the production drop, they've seen the sacks and turnovers, and they've seen a coach who refuses to adapt. Respect for a career doesn't win games, production does. And right now, Flacco's production is failing the team. And the impact isn't limited to stats. Cleveland's elite defense is being left exposed because the offense can't sustain drives. Special teams can only bail the team out so many times. Every turnover, every short field gifted to the opposition, makes the defense's job harder. And fans notice. They see a team capable of excellence being systematically undermined by mistakes and indecision at the quarterback position. The truth is unavoidable. The league has moved past Joe Flacco. He can no longer extend plays, evade pressure, or make defenders miss consistently. And when every mistake carries consequences, it's not a matter of respect or loyalty, it's a matter of results. Cleveland's future, both this season and beyond, depends on recognizing that reality. Fans aren't calling for Flacco to be disrespected, they're calling for a solution. And that solution is waiting on the bench, in the form of 2 rookies ready to prove they can lead. While Cleveland struggles with a declining veteran, the real story isn't on the field, it's on the bench. The future of this franchise is young, hungry, and waiting for a chance to prove itself. Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are the quarterbacks the Browns drafted to lead the team forward, yet for reasons fans can't understand, they're being held back. The window for meaningful change is closing, and every week that these rookies sit, opportunity slips away. Dillon Gabriel has seen limited action, just a few garbage time snaps here and there. Stats-wise, it doesn't look impressive. 0 touchdowns, minimal completions, a QB rating that barely registers. But those numbers are misleading. Gabriel has been thrown into impossible situations, with no rhythm, no preparation for the live game, and no real chance to showcase his talent. Judging a quarterback on garbage time numbers is like judging a chef after tasting a half-cooked meal. You're missing the potential, the skill, and the ability to shine under the right circumstances. Then there's Shedeur Sanders. Unlike Gabriel, he hasn't even been given that small window of opportunity. Yet everyone who has watched him closely knows that he might actually be the most NFL-ready quarterback on the roster. Arm talent, football IQ, poise under pressure. He has it all. Growing up under the guidance of his Hall of Fame father, playing under the national spotlight at Colorado, and learning the nuances of the game from the very best, Shedeur has been preparing for this moment his entire life. He thrives under pressure. He's confident, decisive, and fearless, the kind of quarterback who can change the trajectory of a team from the first snap. Fans notice. They're flooding social media, spamming comments, and calling for Shedeur to get his shot. The argument is simple. If the Browns want to build for the future, they need to see what they have. Waiting for a veteran who can't perform consistently isn't just frustrating, it's a waste of talent. And it's not just about the individual quarterbacks, it's about the team. Giving the rookies real opportunities would give the offense energy, create rhythm, and take pressure off an exhausted defense. The logic makes sense. Start Dillon Gabriel first, see what he can do, and if it doesn't work out, promote Shedeur to QB2 and eventually QB1. But Stefanski hasn't taken that step. He's stuck in the past, unwilling to commit to the future. Meanwhile, fans, analysts, and even former players are watching and asking the same question. How long can this hesitation continue before it costs the team more than just a few games? Cleveland's young quarterbacks are ready. They have the talent, the preparation, and the drive to succeed. The fans are ready to see them play. The team has everything it needs to make a push, both this season and in the future. The only thing holding them back is a decision, a choice between sticking with the past or embracing the future. And every week that decision is delayed, the stakes get higher, the pressure mounts, and the frustration grows. Because the truth is clear. The future of the Browns isn't a 40-year-old veteran. The future is Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And the question now is simple. Will the organization act before it's too late? Cleveland is at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the next few weeks could define the franchise for years to come. The quarterback situation isn't just a storyline. It's the epicenter of a crisis that affects every level of the team. Fans, analysts, and players alike are watching closely, wondering whether the Browns will continue down the path of stagnation or finally embrace the future. Every snap, every decision, every game matters more than ever. The choice is stark. On one hand, the team could continue to ride Joe Flacco, holding on to nostalgia and loyalty while the offense struggles to move the ball. The defense grows fatigued, and the season slips further away. That path has already cost Cleveland dearly. Blown drives, turnovers, short fields, and missed opportunities. It's a decision that prioritizes the past over the future, a commitment to comfort rather than results. And the clock is ticking. Each week wasted could be the difference between salvaging this season and watching it collapse completely. On the other hand, there's the option fans are clamoring for. Give Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders the chance they've earned. Gabriel could start and show what he's capable of, while Shedeur waits in the wings, ready to take over if needed. Or, if the situation calls for it, Shedeur could move into the QB2 role immediately, proving that the franchise is willing to adapt, evolve, and embrace the talent they drafted for the future. That path isn't risk-free. It comes with growing pains, learning moments, and the possibility of mistakes. But it's the only path that offers hope of long-term stability and success. The pressure on Kevin Stefanski is enormous. Every decision he makes, or fails to make, is being scrutinized in real time. The media is asking tough questions. Former players are weighing in. Fans are flooding social media, calling for him to act, to take the leap, and to finally give the young quarterbacks a shot. His leadership is being tested like never before, and the stakes couldn't be higher. One wrong move, or one refusal to move at all, could define not just his career, but the trajectory of the entire franchise. And it's not just about this season. The decisions made now will shape Cleveland's future. Will they invest in their young quarterbacks, build around their talent, and give the defense the support it deserves? Or will they cling to the past, watching potential slip away while fans lose faith and the team struggles to compete? The answers will reveal a lot about the organization's priorities, its vision, and its willingness to take bold action when it matters most. Cleveland is standing at the edge of a pivotal moment. The pieces are there: a talented defense, two promising young quarterbacks, and a fan base desperate for change. The question is whether the leadership has the courage to act. Every week that passes without a decisive move raises the stakes and magnifies the consequences. The franchise can no longer afford indecision. The crossroads is here, and the direction they choose will echo for years.
If you enjoyed today's breakdown and want to keep up with all the drama, trades, and behind-the-scenes action in the NFL, then don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this channel grow and lets us know you love this kind of content. And hey, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your friends, your group chats, or anyone who loves football as much as you do. The more the conversation spreads, the better it gets. Most importantly, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss when we drop fresh stories, wild rumors, or breaking updates that the mainstream media won't talk about.